This video is not a replacement to your owner's manual. Please refer to your owner's manual for additional information. INVACARE iLift series lifts can be a useful tool in picking up a resident who has fallen to the floor. The first thing to do in these situations is to determine if the resident has suffered any injuries from the fall. If they don't need medical attention, you can lift the resident.
Bill, what happened? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm alright.
Bill, is your back okay?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, I just need to get back up into the bed.
I'll get the lift.
Okay. Just relax and we'll get you right back into bed, okay?
First, get the resident into the full body sling. It requires 2 people. Fan fold the sling and set it down next to the resident. The top edge should be slightly above the resident's head, and the bottom edge should be just above the knee. A quick way of telling the top from the bottom is by locating the identification labels. They are sewn at the top of the sling. Have the resident elevate one knee until their foot is flat on the floor. Position one hand on the resident's elevated knee and the other hand under the resident's shoulder. Simultaneously push on the knee and lightly lift their shoulder. The resident will roll onto their side with relative ease. As the other caregiver holds the resident, push the sling underneath them. Roll the resident again onto their back. Then, roll them over on their side using the same technique. Slowly push on the knee and lightly lift the shoulder to roll them onto their other side. Smooth the sling out on the floor underneath the resident. Roll the resident again onto their back, now centered on the sling. The lift is then moved into position over the resident. Make sure that the lift's legs are in the maximum open position for stability. Carefully slide the lift under the resident. Have them bend their knees and hold their head up as the legs are moved under them. Lower the lift's boom arm and center it directly above the resident to attach the sling. Lock the lift's rear casters to prevent it from moving while you attach the sling. Make sure that the resident's arms are inside the sling. Each strap has a series of color-coded loops sewn into them that allows you a number of ways for positioning the resident in the sling. We want the resident to be lifted in a reclined position, so we'll configure the attachment point like this. Be sure to use the same color loops for both sides. Be sure that the straps of the sling are inside the legs of the lift. After attaching the sling, unlock the rear casters on the lift. The lift must be free to adjust to a new center of gravity. If the casters are locked, the lift can become unstable, tip over, and people can get hurt. Put a slight amount of tension on the sling by pressing the up button on the hand pendant to elevate the boom. Double check to make sure that the sling straps are secured to the hanger bar. If they are not, lower the sling and fix them. Raise the resident until they are just above the mattress level. Stand squarely behind the lift, place both hands on the handles, and push. Never pull or push on the boom. Use the handles to push it into position over the bed. Position the resident in the middle of the bed and then lower them until their full weight is on the bed. Lock the rear casters to secure the lift and unhook the sling from the hanger bar. Unlock the rear casters and move the lift away from the bed. Roll the resident from side to side to remove the sling.